Good afternoon, and welcome to the demonstration for using Journyx Enterprise Time Tracking to automate your payroll process. My name is Meredith Zacharitz, and I'm the Director of Product Management here at Journyx. Before we get started with our demo, I have a couple of housekeeping items. First, you can use the percent icon in the GoToMeeting control panel to resize your screen for better viewing. And second, we'll take questions at the end of this demo. So please feel free to submit your questions anytime during this presentation, and you can just use the questions area again of the GoToMeeting control panel to do so. For over 16 years, Journyx has been offering product time tracking solutions that increase the efficiency and accuracy of your time data capture, while also automating the preparation and transfer of that data to your payroll provider. Journyx offers bidirectional integrations with third-party accounting systems, which gives you all of the information and tools that you need to get up and running quickly with your Journyx system. Integrations are available for Intuit's QuickBooks, Microsoft Dynamics GP, Peachtree, ACPAC, and many more. This demonstration covers some of the most popular Journyx features for timesheet and payroll automation, and that includes time entry flexibility, rules, data validation, and time-off balances that increase employee timesheet accuracy, custom workflow approvals to make sure that everyone reviews the time data who needs to, and automation of the process for getting that time data to your payroll provider in the required format. Getting started with Journyx is easy when you already have all of your employee, project, and payroll information in your accounting system. So when looking at an employee timesheet, we can see that she gets access to all of the proper projects and details automatically based on the accounting data that's passed into the Journyx system. All the links and menus that we see across the top here are dependent on our user's login account. So each individual user can have a different level of access and viewability based on custom roles that you get to define and build. Now this user is assigned to a grid time entry screen, so she sees all of her time entry details here on the left, and dates and hours fields on the right. But other employees may have timesheets that require specific start and stop times, line item time entry, time entered as a percentage of a total day, or even a timekeeper who enters time on behalf of the other users. Now, all of the lists and the selections we see in these lists are specific to our sample user here and what she needs to see. She has the option to track both project and non-project time, as well as time off, all on this one screen. If she uses some of her time entries over and over again, she can set up what we call shortcuts called memorized time entries that persist from timesheet to timesheet. Or she can pull up entries from her previous timesheet for reuse, all in this memorized area. And these tools allow her to get her time entered quickly and easily. Now, when she selects a project for time entering, the details in the other columns can be filtered automatically to show her the choices that apply to this specific project. Journyx also provides tools and data validation required to ensure that our user enters her time accurately and on time. So you can provide employees with email reminders and late notices as part of the timesheet submission process. Now, before any approver becomes involved, you can also set up your own time entry rules that are checked when employees submit timesheets for approval. And they can automatically reject the sheets if they break those rules. So then the employee is able to correct the timesheet before any human review is required. At the same time that the data validation rules are applied, custom billing rates and payroll rules can also be applied to the time for reporting and export to financial systems. When our users completed and submitted her timesheet, approval workflows determine the process for her time approval. Journyx approval workflows allow you to set up as many approval levels as you need to ensure that the appropriate people review the project and exceptions time, as well as the possibility for reimbursable expenses. Now, after our users finished entering her time, she may want to request some leave time in the future. So she can view her leave balances to make sure that she has enough time available. And then she can go to her leave calendar and request a day off directly from her timesheet. The Journyx system includes notifications for letting her time approver know that she's requested leave, and then for letting her know when it's approved. Once her time off request has been approved, she doesn't have to do anything else. It's going to be loaded into her timesheet automatically on the day that she'll be taking it, unless she happens to cancel it before she takes the time off. Now, supervisors and other managers are able to manage their time and expense approvals using approval queues and email notifications that update them on the status of their approvals. Approvers may be able to approve based on this summary view that we see here, or they may be required to click through to the individual sheet views. On the sheet view, the approver can see everything that the employee could see on her timesheet, as well as payroll and billing information based on the rule calculations that you can set up in the Journyx system. There are other tools that assist the supervisors with keeping track of compliance and getting approvals completed by the end of the period. The Organization Compliance Viewer has color-coded icons that make it easy to keep track of who submitted their timesheets for the period and who's late. You can click on these icons to take actions, such as send email to the users who are late, letting them know to get their timesheets submitted. You can also keep track of how many sheets you still need to approve to close out the period. Now, while managers are waiting for period data to be finalized, they can use Journyx features for running spot reports on real-time data in the system. So the Journyx platform includes text-based reports that can be run directly in your browser, or report link templates for custom and graphical reporting in Excel. Both solutions include a variety of time, expense, project status, and financial report types. For example, a payroll administrator could run spot reports on exceptions time, and this would include both approved and unapproved time entered in the system, so everything that's entered in the system to date. Journyx Report Link allows you to tap into all the power and flexibility of Microsoft Excel pivot tables. So this is not a simple export to Excel. Report Link actually provides you with direct real-time access to your Journyx data. So you can build reports and add custom calculations and then update your data at any time with the click of a button. Now, after approvals for the period are complete, you can process your time data for transfer to your payroll provider. We offer exports to the most popular payroll providers as part of our payroll rules engine, and we can add new providers as needed. You have a variety of options for determining how your time data is processed, whether or not to include cost information and expenses, and also how it will be formatted for payroll processing. You can set up different pay groups that group employees by type based on the rules that will apply to their time for their payroll calculations. Under pay groups, you can determine how situations such as overtime, exceptions time, and rounding will be handled. So, while your non-exempt employees may be subject to overtime and shift-based rules, other groups, such as your exempt employees and contractors, may not be subject to that type of markup. And you can control that here with your pay groups. You may also have a group of users in the system who should be completely ignored by the payroll export. And you can handle these users with pay groups, the pay group labeled Ignore. So after you've created your pay groups, you can then assign them individually based on the way each person in your organization gets paid. In addition to the pay groups that govern the rules that will apply to each person, you can also determine how your pay types or pay codes that are entered on the timesheet will be treated during payroll processing. As an example, the vacation pay type should not be included in overtime calculations for those non-exempt employees, and you can configure this here. After your pay groups are defined and assigned, and you've got your pay types set up to be processed correctly, you then have the option to customize the calculations and output for the actual payroll processing. There are a variety of out-of-the-box options that allow you to create the exact format required for processing by your payroll provider. When you're ready to export your data to your payroll provider, you can select the pay groups and dates for export. You then have the option to preview that information so that you can spot check it. And then when you're ready for export, you can either choose to save the file to a network directory or export it to email for further processing by your payroll provider. Now, you can enjoy a variety of benefits by plugging Journyx into your payroll process. Capturing accurate data without human intervention saves time and eliminates the hassle of making lots of corrections. The flexible approval plans ensure that everyone who needs to review project and exceptions time is able to sign off on the time before it's finally approved. And lastly, the Journyx system provides employees with all the information they need to stay on top of their time and expense tracking. Excuse me. If you would like to learn more about how Journyx can help you improve your payroll process, please feel free to contact us for a custom demonstration. And now we'll open up the floor to questions at this time. There are no questions, so we thank you for your time today and hope that you got a lot out of our demonstration. Have a great day.